Hey everyone, welcome back to Edgeverse. Have you ever stood in front of a massive sculpture and felt this inexplicable pull, like it's speaking to you without saying a word? That's the magic we're diving into today, how sculptural art resonates with our emotions on a deep, almost primal level. I'm your name, your guide through the world of art that leaps off the pedestal and into your soul. Today, we're exploring why a chunk of marble or a twist of steel can hit us right in the feels. We'll break it down into form, materials, space, stories, and its lasting legacy. By the end, you'll see sculptures in a whole new light. Hit that like button and subscribe for more art deep dives. Let's jump in. First off, let's talk about form, the shape, volume, and mass that hit you before you even think about what the sculpture means. It's like the sculpture's body language. Why does a tall column make you feel inspired, or a low, heavy blob feel grounding and stable? Take Constantine Brancusi's endless column. Its repeating shapes shooting upward, defying gravity, creating a sense of endless striving. Sharp angles scream tension or danger, like in Umberto Boccioni's futuristic pieces. Smooth curves whisper calm and harmony, as in Jean Arp's biomorphic blobs. Volume plays a huge role. Richard Serra's massive steel walls make you feel tiny and intimidated, a kinesthetic experience. Alberto Giacometti's super thin figures scream fragility and loneliness, swallowed by the space around them. Have you ever turned a corner and been hit with an instant emotional punch from a sculpture? That's the power of first impressions. Louis Bourgeois' giant spider, Man, triggers our fear with its spindly legs. Anish Kapoor's Cloud Gate, the bean, invites play and wonder. Form sets the emotional stage. Your eyes feel it, imagining texture, weight, and temperature, tapping into memories and associations. Okay, now let's get tactile. Materials aren't just what the sculpture's made of, they're the voice, the tone that colors everything. Marble, cool, smooth, almost like skin. Bernini's The Rape of Proserpina makes you feel Pluto's fingers sinking into flesh, creating intense drama. Marble screams permanence and idealism. Bronze, heavy, enduring, with a history of power. Rodin's The Burghers of Calais has rough, textured surfaces showing inner turmoil, making you feel the weight of their suffering. Wood, warm, organic, alive with grain patterns. Barbara Hepworth's pieces feel connected to nature, intimate, and comforting. Materials carry history too. Terracotta in the Terracotta Army connects us to ancient power and human vulnerability, reminding us we're all dust. Modern twists like Eva Hess's latex forms evoke unease, while Tara Donovan's stacked plastic cups blend awe with thoughts on waste. These materials provoke and challenge. So, what material speaks to you? Next time you're near a sculpture, imagine running your hand over it. Space invites you in too. Richard Serra's steel mazes make you feel claustrophobic or awed. Yayoi Kusuma's infinity rooms make you lost in infinity, joyful and transcendent. Now here's where it gets trippy, space. Not just around the sculpture, but the voids, the negatives that are as powerful as the solid bits. Henry Moore punched holes in his figures, creating lightness and inner worlds. In Giacometti's work, huge empty space crushes his figures, making you feel their isolation. Light and shadow bring it alive. Bernini's Ecstasy of Saint Teresa uses hidden light for divine glows, shadows adding drama and mystery. It's theatrical, pulling at your heart. Ever felt drawn into a sculpture's space, like it's pulling you closer? That's the empathy, your body responding to the void. Your story completes it. A mother-child sculpture hits different if you're a parent. Abstract like Noguchi's Black Sun is a portal for your projections. Alright, we've got form, materials, space, now the stories. Sculpture doesn't talk, but it tells epics through gestures, symbols, and moments frozen in time. Bernini's Apollo and Daphne captures one instant, her turning into a tree. You see the chase, terror, and loss all in that freeze frame, with your brain filling in the rest. Rodin's Gates of Hell is packed with inferno scenes. Symbols like keys for St. Peter or a torch for liberty are loaded. Bourgeois' spiders are personal for her mom, protective yet scary. What stories do sculptures whisper to you? They're mirrors to your soul. Sculpture leaves an emotional blueprint, Michelangelo's struggling slaves as your metaphor for freedom. It shapes how we feel the world. Finally, sculpture's legacy. It's not dead history. It's alive in our spaces, memories, and future tech. Public pieces shape places. Gormley's Angel of the North brings pride and resilience. Maya Lin's Vietnam Wall, with names etched, creates a personal connection to grief. Controversies rage, like toppling colonial statues, reevaluating memory, and showing sculpture's power to spark change. Looking ahead, kinetic art like Theo Jansen's Beach Walkers inspires wonder. AR sculptures and data art by Refik Anadol blend art with technology. So, wrapping up, sculpture's emotional punch comes from synergy, form, materials, space, stories, and legacy. It's embodied, personal, universal, reminding us of physical presence. What sculpture moved you most? Drop it in the comments. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share with an art lover. Thanks for watching. See you next time.